What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Hey, it's Chael, it's DC, and this is Good Guy, Bad Guy from WWE World in Las Vegas. We thank all of you for joining us. Chael and I are massive WWE fans. So to be able to do this, guys, our show for the last 3 weeks has been nothing but us geeking about what WrestleMania week will be. But before, Chael, I kind of want to know what got you into wrestling when you were a kid.
It is so cool that you guys came here, by the way. Our egos are directly related to how many of you come and watch us, so thank you. What's up over there? What's going on, guys? All right, I would love to tell how I became a wrestling fan. I came through Oregon, and we had something called Portland Wrestling. And Portland Wrestling was huge at the time. To name, absolutely, Rip Oliver, Billy Jack Haynes, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and I had a neighbor. And my neighbor was Rowdy Roddy Piper. And he was just a regular guy.
Chael.
Yeah.
Your neighbor was not Roddy Piper.
Yeah, I became teammates with his son. Colt Toombs and I are teammates. Why is that fun? Why would I make that story up?
Bro, you always do this to me.
Neighbor's an exaggeration. He was in the country, but, you know, he's my neighbor. Okay. He would be at the supermarket. He would be at the restaurants. He was like this regular guy.
Really?
For the most part. He did a Cadillac match with a guy called Playboy Buddy Rose. Whoever lost got the Cadillac. He lost, and Playboy took his Cadillac, drove it around Portland for a week.
Really?
Yeah, when they were kayfabing.
See, I believe this.
Yeah.
I believe that. So for me, it was in Louisiana, obviously, Junkyard Dog, Mid-South Wrestling, all that. I love that. I was such a bad kid that in order to like control my aggressiveness, my mom would put mattresses in the backyard and we would wrestle. And I just would watch wrestling and I would dream of trying to become a wrestler. Obviously, I started doing amateur wrestling. I thought we were gonna be running ropes and jumping off the top rope like I did in my backyard. And it was top and bottom. So the guy's like telling me to get on my knees. I'm like, that's not what wrestling looks like. So I yelled at the guy, I fought with the coach about amateur wrestling. Then eventually, I did amateur wrestling, as did you, and we never lost the love for professional wrestling. And now, we get to do stuff like this, which is amazing, and we get to go to WrestleMania. Chael loves wrestling so much that last year, in Philadelphia, when they said WrestleMania is live from Vegas next year, Chael bought tickets for $7,000 without even knowing what the card was going to be. What's most sad about that story is that Chael now gave those tickets away because ESPN gets free tickets, and those free tickets were better than the $7,000 tickets Chael bought. So he gets free tickets, so now you burn $7 grand, Chael. And I'm actually happy that you burned $7 grand because you're far too rich.
I had no choice. They started at 5,500 on the computer. They were going up in front of my eyes. Like, I had to buy it. Everyone was grabbing them. By the way, I love that you say when you had an amateur match that you were thinking of pro rules. I got taken down by this kid one time. I couldn't escape, so I reached out of bounds, and I grabbed the mat, and I told the ref, I said, I'm out of bounds. Because remember how they put their foot on the rope?
Yes,
and that would stop the count?
Yeah.
The ref penalized me, took a point.
That's Chael. Hey, guys, when you live your life, right, you do at times spend $7 grand for tickets, which leads me to our first guest. Hey, you only live once. And when you only live once, you bring people like the great Liv Morgan to join Good Guy, Bad Guy. Yo, give it up for Liv Morgan.
Watch me, watch me.
Can we cut the music for a second? I thought that applause was okay, but it definitely wasn't good enough for the greatest women's tag team champion of all time. So I'm actually gonna go backstage,
okay,
and then I'll come back out when you guys get it right, okay?
So do we do the whole thing?
Okay, I'll
Liv,
be right back.
do I do the whole thing again?
We're gonna do it all again. We're gonna do it all again.
Okay, we do the whole thing again. Okay, guys, we gotta start again. So you buy the expensive tickets, blah, 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 blah. You only live once. Welcome, Liv Morgan! Better?
Watch me, watch me.
That
You guys
was
are
so
fast
much
learners.
better. So, Liv,
I know you do.
Yeah, they mean it. It's different when they yell that to you, when they yell, I love you. They mean it.
yeah, they actually mean it. I mean, we all love Liv Morgan. Liv, we love you.
Thank you.
So, Liv, WrestleMania weekend is the biggest weekend of the year. What are the emotions? How are you feeling as we get so close to what is the pinnacle of the WWE schedule?
I know, I'm excited. As you guys know, everyone at WWE works all year for this weekend, this WrestleMania weekend. Our Super Bowl, our World Series, our World Cup. This is our marquee show. And honestly, this is the first time in my career that I've been on the main show of WrestleMania in a traditional match. And so I am so excited.
Liv, if we were to exclude your match, is there a match that you're most looking forward to? Like, are you still a mark and a fan like I am?
I am so excited to watch my daddy Dom win the Intercontinental Championship. Oh, you guys don't like that? Oh, all the men are booing because all the men are haters. Because none of you are as gorgeous as Dominik. You don't have Dominik's hair. You don't have Dominik's mustache. I get it. Keep booing. Keep booing.
Chael. So Chael and I were talking in the back, and Chael wanted to ask you a question about Dominik, because Dominik on our show has become this character that we at times feel bad for. This poor kid, terrible father.
Right?
Yeah, he's terrible dad.
You guys get it.
Went to jail, grew up in a horrible home, broken home. And there's one aspect of his life, though, that Dom is thriving, right?
Oh, yeah, no, he's got you. And we were just wondering, like, is that a shoot? We were just wondering, is that a gimmick? Would you wait for him if he got picked up again and had to do hard time? And I grew up the same as Dom, so I understand it. But if he had to do hard time, Liv, would you wait for him?
Oh, I'm waiting. He's getting money on his commissary. I am waiting. I'll wait until the end of time for Daddy
Oh, man,
Dom.
what a beautiful love story.
That is beautiful.
Between two great people, by the way. So, Liv, you have done some tremendous things in the WWE. I watched your documentary on Peacock the other day when you were just getting started, and the story was left with dream as big as you want, essentially. I don't know that you could have dreamed that it could have been this good. You've won multiple world championships. You have won some of the biggest matches, experienced some of the biggest things. How's the journey been for you when you start to look back and reflect a little bit?
Yeah, I've definitely had quite the journey in WWE, which is funny because I grew up a fan since I was 5 years old. So I thought when I finally made it here, I was going to be a natural. I thought I was going to pick up on everything right away. I thought I was going to be world champion in like my first 5 years. But it was so much harder. It was so much harder than I thought. And I was bad for a very long time. And so to look back on all the times where I thought that I was going to get fired or like I'd never fulfill the idea that I had in my mind of me being a WWE superstar, it's crazy because the last 14, 16 months that I've had, I mean, I was 200 plus days as a women's world champion. I retired Becky Lynch. I've defeated Bianca Belair. I've defeated Jade Cargill. I've defeated Alexa Bliss. And I am the first and only 3-time women's tag team champion. Thanks. So I have pinch me moments.
I gotta be honest,
time.
like I love this and I do support everything, but you kind of cheat a little bit too much for my liking.
So what?
Cheat a
so
lot,
if you're
man.
not cheating, you're not trying.
I wish you
don't
cheated
care.
more. Yeah, I agree.
I don't care.
You cheat a lot, man.
Yeah, but I win a lot.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Does John Cena beat Cody Rhodes? One fall for the championship of the world with everybody watching. Does John Cena beat Cody Rhodes?
I think that Cody Rhodes is gonna beat John Cena.
I do too. You think Cena?
I don't want Cody Rhodes to win again. He wins all the time.
I don't want Cena to win again. He wins all the time.
So I guess we're at a bit of a standstill.
Yes.
Okay, well.
Does Ric Flair show to the event? In your opinion, will Ric Flair? It's been a big
Do you
storyline.
guys think Tiffany or Charlotte?
Okay, so here's the thing. So I'm very invested in this one, right?
Right, the last couple of weeks
The last
really
couple weeks
heated up, huh?
I want Tiffany to win.
Ooh!
I want Tiffany to
What
get
do
it
you guys?
done.
You guys want Tippy time, or do you think Charlotte's gonna win?
Tiffy time.
I think Charlotte, and I see interference, by the way. I
Yeah.
think Rick's part of this event. That's my guess.
Let's see. So, Liv, you and Raquel Rodriguez are a tremendous tag team.
Thank you. Yes, give my sister some applause. Are you kidding me?
Best in the world.
To have a physical force like that at your back, how comforting is that? Because they have people after you, like my favorite wrestler in the world, Nia Jax, the most beautiful Nia
No,
Jax.
I beat her though to become the first and only women's crown jewel
Hey,
champion.
I understand. But why you gotta rub it in our face all the time?
Because I love it.
You like the attention. You gotta share it. Share the spotlight. Liv.
No, I don't think I need to share right now. Everyone's gonna have their time in the sun, but right now it's just my time.
It's Liv's time. But to have Raquel Rodriguez as a partner, to be on this journey, because even on the documentary, right, having someone to share this with, how important has it been for you?
It's been so important, and honestly, Raquel and I, we have a great relationship. We are best friends on and off screen. She is the biggest, most dominant woman in WWE, so the fact that I get to run around careless without a worry in the world because I know I have my 6'2" bestie watching my back, it's the most comforting feeling in the world.
Who's a jerk? Who's a jerk behind the scenes?
Me.
Really?
Yes.
You're the
Yeah.
one. They say there's a jerk in every group, and if you don't know who it is, then it's you.
It's me.
She likes it though. Like you.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, her face lit up.
I love when you guys make fun of my laugh and say that I cheat. Me. I love it.
Hey, Liv, do you feed off of that? Because you've been universally loved and you've been booed. The boos are the things that a lot of people, Chael loves the boos. If Chael doesn't get the boos, he will go in pursuit of the boos.
The booze
Do
is
you
so much
enjoy?
better. I love the booze. The cheers are harder to get, but the booze, the booze make you feel. Please.
Feed me.
All right, let me give you a throwback question. I asked you this as a fan, and I asked you as one half of the greatest tag team ever.
Thank you.
If you had to side with one, Axe and Smash or Hulk and Animal? Demolition or the guys that ripped off their gimmick, the Road Warriors?
Hulk and Animal.
Hulk and Animal.
Yeah, of course, Chael.
Oh, I'm Axe and Smash.
Chael like one of them old marks. Like he's like, Chael out there popping in VHS cassettes to watch wrestling still.
I will still tell people to this day that the Road Warriors ripped off their gimmick, and it gets people hot, man. I just met Smash.
I was gonna say, Chael just was in the airport in Bristol, Connecticut, and saw Axe and Smash.
Yep.
Were you so excited?
Yeah, I was pumped. I dressed up as them and won a costume contest as a 6th grader with my buddy Justin. So yeah, to run into those guys a few weeks ago, it was cool.
Yeah.
And then they were nice to me. You know when you meet somebody and then they turn out to be nice to you? Yeah, it was
when
great.
you
It was
meet
great.
your idols and they're
Yes.
nice.
Like
Yeah,
you've
I heard-
turned out to be very pleasant.
You think so? Thank
Yes.
you. I hear a lot of mixed reviews, so I'm glad that you think I'm pleasant. Thank you.
So the meaner you are to Chael, the more he likes it.
Got it. We're gonna be besties then. We're besties.
So look around here to Liv. When you really, we did this yesterday with Gunther and Seth Rollins, and there were people here, but it wasn't like this. I understand, but everybody's in the business of engagement. You can engage people. How much does it mean for you, though, as an athlete, to know that you started doing mirrors on NXT, where you're just talking in front of a mirror at NXT, and now you're getting reactions from these people, and they show up? How important is that for you, and how much does it mean to you?
Like I said, you know, it's been a journey. There were a lot of moments where I didn't know that I'd make it this far, because ultimately, I'm just like you guys. I was just a fan in the stands, and I was just able to make my dreams come true. Oh, you guys are getting me a little bit emotional. I don't cry. I don't cry.
Hey, Chael, she probably needs to be comforted. I'd be willing to hug her.
No, only Daddy's mom. Only Daddy's mom.
Now you just went heel. You just switched heel.
Every guy here hates me now.
Yes.
Yes, like they hate Dom. Go ahead.
I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful ultimately that you guys have stuck with me and that you guys have kept watching whether I'm the good guy or I am the greatest bad guy. Because ultimately, I am the greatest women's tag team champion of all time. And if you guys don't like it, you can cry about it. But if I were you, I'd watch me.
Liv, if you were to say one moment that really stands out in your career or something tied with WrestleMania, but when you think back, what is one moment that sticks with you?
Okay, one moment that really sticks with me, and maybe this is like the obvious answer, but SummerSlam 2024, I was Women's World Champion, and I was defending against my arch nemesis, Rhea Ripley. We were in quite the love triangle with Dominik Mysterio as I was fighting for his affection, but that night, a couple of things happened. Not only did I embarrass Rhea Ripley when I defeated her to retain my Women's World Championship, but Daddy Dom embarrassed her even more and made her cry in front of the whole entire world when he chose me. And so I think that moment really, really, really sticks out.
Liv, this is the last question we have for you before you let you get on with your day. WrestleMania, your first traditional match. What does this weekend look like for you? Like, have you allowed yourself to take it in? To take in the walk, 70,000 around you, fans just going crazy with a belt around your waist, walking to the squared circle. What does this weekend look like to Liv Morgan?
This weekend is quite literally my life's work in the making. Everything that I have worked for has led to this moment, has led to this opportunity, has led me into walking into WrestleMania as a champion and leaving WrestleMania as the greatest women's world champion and women's tag team champion with Raquel Rodriguez of all time. This is a culmination of 30 years in the making. I grew up just a fan in the stands like you guys, so to be here and to walk into WrestleMania and retain my championship, I can't even tell you. I can't even explain it. There's no words. It's just another piece of my history in the making.
Unbelievable, Liv. Hey, the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour has been a thing of beauty, and I have enjoyed every single step of it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Women's Tag Team Champion, Liv Morgan. Liv, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Bye, losers! Bye!
Good work, Liv.
What a pleasant young lady.
Bye, losers. I just learned something watching her. I learned a few things.
Tell me.
Hey, she's slick, and I like how she changes her voice when she answers a question just to get a rise out of you. It was small, but I learned it right now watching her. She's good.
She's a real pro. She's a real pro.
If you're the champion, and it doesn't matter if you, what the hell, was that a sneeze?
Why was there a little bit of steam there? Go ahead, what'd you say?
If you're the champion, whether you're an individual champion or a tag team champion, if things aren't going your way, why don't they just cheat and get disqualified because you retain the belt?
All she does is cheat, bro. All she does is cheat. Chael.
But you retain the belt.
Yes, you do. Chael, we are supposed to now talk about the closest moment we ever had to becoming a WWE superstar. Did you ever have a moment where you almost or thought about it, came close to actually having an opportunity to become a WWE superstar?
What'd you jump for?
I mean, I'm looking at this. I don't.
Man, you flinched
There's
like we were getting
graphics.
All right. Yes, I went through the WCW power plant.
You did?
I went in and did that. Well, there was a tryout process. It was a 3-day tryout. And then if you made the tryout, you went back and actually trained. It was 1998. I was an All-American that year. I was in my athletic fitness prime, I guess you would say. Daniel, I barely made it through that tryout.
It was hard?
Oh my God, it was so, only me and two other guys made it, and then on the last day, one guy just didn't show up. He made it, but he was so sore he couldn't get out of bed. It was me and a police officer from Georgia, and that was it. Nobody else even made it to the third day. It was so difficult.
I've heard stories about doing it, and I've seen guys and known guys that have been through the process, and I heard that it is very, very
Can
difficult.
I tell you something they made us do?
Go ahead.
So this was when Sarge was running it, and they got a 5-gallon bucket, one of those white buckets like you'd have in your garage. You turn it upside down, and you had to do a squat. And when you went down, your arms went up, but your butt had to touch the bucket. Well, you can't see the bucket, so you're coming down and touching it. Otherwise, Sarge gets upset with you. And that was the biggest problem, is that bucket was cutting. It was cutting into the back of my legs.
Really?
It was brutal, man. This process was brutal.
Brutal process. Chael, for me, a couple years ago, I refereed a match between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle, and I had on stripes. I was the referee. I looked so terrible in the stripes. I made a promise to myself again, I'll never referee. I'll never work at Foot Locker. And, no, seriously, never refereeing. I'm never working at Foot Locker. And that was as close. But it was amazing, the environment. The way that these fans actually engage and the energy, it's so contagious, man. It's an amazing
watched you rep. I thought you were awesome, and I thought you looked fine in the stripes,
Bro,
by the way.
I'm literally refereeing. As I walk to the back, they go, this dude knows how to ref. I'm hitting them with the 1, 2. I was good at it. They were like, yo, this dude been watching this for far too long. You know who else, though, makes an impact? This dude, Penta. I don't know if you've seen Penta.
I know Pénta.
Penta started wrestling. He came over to the WWE very recently. He wears this mask, Chael, and it's like white and black, and he does this thing with his fingers. I'm in San Jose. In that area, big Hispanic community. So it was his first match. He goes in there and he starts doing this thing with his hands, and I can't say it because I can't speak Spanish very well. Miedo, yes, this.
I was doing Miero.
People are going crazy. But then I start to watch him, and he's so talented, he's so gifted, and people are in love with him. This weekend already, Penta fights for the Intercontinental Championship. So when we're booking guests, I said, I want Penta. They said, DC, you want Penta? I said, I want Penta. And guess what, guys? We got Penta!
Thank you guys, how are you? How are you guys? Thank you guys, thank you. I love you guys, thank you so much.
Unbelievable. You have been, for a long time, a star in this game. One of the best luchadors in the whole world.
Thank you.
But Penta, this response to you in the WWE has to be overwhelming and a bit unexpected, right?
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. So, first of all, thank you guys for coming here with me. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for this space for me. Because today, or not today, all week is very special for me, you know, because it's my first WrestleMania. So this is my first WrestleMania. I'm very happy, man, because I know I represent my culture, I represent my country, I represent mi raza, you know. Thank you guys, thank you for coming here. But I promise, guys, I promise, this WrestleMania, I will show the world who is Penta, man.
Penta, when you're looking at the Intercontinental Championship, I'm sorry, enjoy those people.
Thank you, guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
It's a very different style, but on paper, the greatest IC champion ever is the Honky Tonk Man. Do you study? It's true. It's true. He had it more days than anybody. Do you happen to study some of the guys of yesterday? Do you still watch some of those techniques, and does that inspire you?
Man, yes, it's the thing, because, for example, Rey Mysterio, and one time, he inspired me. Sure? Because we here know Rey Mysterio is a big legend, right?
Yes, yes.
Absolutely, Rey Mysterio is my role model, my man. So, because, like, when I child in Mexico, you know, every weekend I see on the TV Rey Mysterio in WWE. In my mind only, I promise, this is the real truth. Every weekend I dream with maybe one day I'm there. I don't know where, I don't know how, but in my mind and my heart, always, the only thing was, I wanna be WWE. And now, this is my come true, man, you know?
Yeah.
So, thank you guys, I love you. Thank you. Y para toda la gente que habla español, can I speak Spanish?
Yes, you can.
Tell them.
Gracias, mi gente, de verdad. Estoy muy contento. Solo tengo una cosa que decirle a todos ustedes. Muchísimas gracias por todo su apoyo, de verdad. Gracias. Yo sé como mexicano lo que represento y se los prometo, se los juro. Voy a dar mi mejor esfuerzo noche tras noche en WWE. ¿Saben por qué? Para demostrarle a todo el mundo que los latinos somos señores. ¿Sí o no? Y can I send message for one mess
Please tell them.
for Dom Mysterio?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, is Dominik Mysterio, he's, for Chael and I's money, he's the dark horse.
Okay.
His girlfriend just came out here.
Let me explain something about Dominik Mysterio. You guys know, but Dominik Mysterio is a fake Mexican. What? Is that true? Dominik Mysterio, grábenme y mándenselo. Dominik Mysterio. And you know what? Because this guy is very ugly. It's the number one. The number two, he speaks about me in every interview. Why? He say other with mask. When I arrive here in WWE, the first thing he say is, "Hey, come on, otro con máscara en WWE." No, Dom. El único aquí eres tú. This is the true, man.
It is.
Yes, of course, man.
So we, Chael and I, attribute this. He had a hard life, man. His dad wasn't there. He was arrested, went to jail. Dominik Mysterio's had it hard. So we feel sorry for him, Penta. But it sounds like you have no pity for Dominik Mysterio.
Yeah, man. It never happened that. Dominik Mysterio never beat me in the ring, man. And this is the real truth. This Sunday, in this WrestleMania, I will show the world what is Penta. What is the real Penta in WWE? Because the real Penta New Era is starting this WrestleMania 41. This is the only true, man.
If you get the win at this WrestleMania,
Of course,
will you give Dominik a shot?
Dominik, definitely. And you know what? For what reason I will win the WrestleMania 41? Because every day, 20 years, I working very, very hard every day for this moment, man. Because I've been waiting all my life, all my career for this moment, brother. This is the truth. And I'm sure Las Vegas is the perfect place for me to make my dreams come true. I'm sure, guys, under the lights de Las Vegas, I will show the world who is Penta El Zero.
Hey, Penta, what does that mean?
What is
What
what?
does this mean? Tell me, please. Please, Penta, tell me.
Please explain him. Zero!
Yeah, I love it.
Basically, it's no fear, man.
No fear. I love that.
This is zero.
Yes.
En español es zero is the number zero.
Yes. Zero.
Imagine zero.
Yes.
This is the M from the word miedo.
Yes.
Basically in English is
Zero fear.
zero fear.
I'm going to be in that arena going like this, Penta. I'm a Penta guy.
Zero.
Man,
Let's do it.
zero.
Yeah, come on. Let's
Oh.
do it.
He's legit.
Zero!
Pero. I like that.
You got it,
That's
my
my
man.
boy right there. That's my boy right there, Chael. Penta,
Yes, sir.
Intercontinental Championship is one of the biggest
Yes, of course.
belts in the WWE.
Of course.
Could you have imagined that it would have happened this fast?
Man, I waited many years for one opportunity like this. So I know what is, thank you. I know what is my responsibility in this match because the Intercontinental Championship is the first goal for Penta. It's the first goal for me in this company because Penta come here to conquer everything, no matter what. No matter who crossed my way, no matter anything. You know what? Cero miedo.
No fear.
No fear.
Hey, Penta, let me ask you a personal question. As a Mexican athlete, for inspiration, where do guys like Dean Malenko or Tito Santana, or are they guys from your past? Are they guys that you used to watch and be motivated by?
Definitely Dean Malenko. Yeah, because I growing up with see these matches, you know. So for me and my experience, Dean Malenko in one point of my career was my role model too. Because you know who is Dean, who was Dean. I have an opportunity to work with him years ago. He gave me the best advices in this business. So because I know he's a big legend, I respect him, I love him too. But in my opinion, for me, I prefer Dean Malenko.
Penta,
100%.
Your style, right? Luchador, amazing. I was in Mexico City 3 weeks ago, and they had lucha matches just in Mexico City. Did you hone your craft there? And how early did you recognize that's what you wanted to do, that you wanted to follow that great tradition of those great Mexican wrestlers?
Yeah, man. So, for example, in my opinion and my personal case, I learning the first style Mexican, right? But when I did Lucha Underground, it's one, you know Lucha Underground, guys? Thank you. In that moment, turning point my career, man, because it was different style, different luchadors, different wrestlers, you know. So when I did the Lucha Underground, my style switch different. So when I went to Japan too, so basically my style now is a mixes cultures.
Yes.
Japan, Mexican, American, and England too, because a lot of times I went with my brother in England to tag team matches, singles matches, four-way matches, you know. For I think now, when I arrive here at WWE, I put in the ring all my cultures in my mind for my new style here.
Penta, your brother is sick, by the way. He's a great wrestler, a great performer.
If you ask me for true, who is the best luchador in the world, I say my brother.
Yeah, your brother's sick, man.
Definitely. My brother is the best wrestler. Yes or no, guys?
Penta, last question before we let you go and get prepared
Yes.
for this weekend. This weekend is a culmination of a career. Can you think to Sunday and imagine the energy that you will feel from these people who love you so much? Do you allow yourself to kind of think to that and think about what your WrestleMania moment will be?
This is very simple, man. When I take the bell, I say, thank you guys, we won this match. Will be my favorite moment in this WrestleMania. Thank you guys. I love you. See you this Sunday.
Guys, give
¿Y
it up.
saben por qué? Porque yo soy Penta El Zero. I love you guys. I love you guys.
Guys, give it up for Penta.
He's cool, man.
He's cool.
I like Penta. What about those eyes?
You got the eyes, the mask, it works.
Yes.
It all works. You know,
He was looking over his shoulder, though, before he spoke ill about Mysterio. He was
Yeah.
looking.
He a little scared of Dominik.
A little bit.
He a little worried about Dominik Mysterio.
Dominic
I
gonna
can
put a
tell.
knife in you. Dominic's gangster.
Dom will stick you with a knife. Hey, Chael, WrestleMania moments. There are big moments, there are small moments, but they all are all moments. When you watch as a fan, what is your greatest WrestleMania moment of all time?
All right, I know I have to do one, but I got two that are very equal. Pontiac Silverdome, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. The big question was, could the Hulkster slam him? And that wasn't his finisher. You know, he still had to put the boot and the leg drop on him, but that was the big question. Could he slam the 500-pound giant? And I got that equal with, for my lifetime, the biggest match that's ever happened was Warrior versus Hogan, for the simple reason that it was belt versus belt, and that had never gone. They always kept the Intercontinental Champ and the Heavyweight Champ away from each other, even though Intercontinental Champ was to be viewed as the second best wrestler in the company. And for the first time ever, they brought them together. Hogan went under. He went under clean by a 3 count, which was only the 3rd time on television he was ever beat.
Kicked out, man. Hogan kicked out.
They should have called it a kick out, and it was a fast count on top of that.
You're a Hulkamaniac. I love the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh,
Bro,
yeah.
I hate it that he could never go over on Hogan. But I did watch him.
Will you do your
wrestle.
best Macho Man for me? Will you do your best? Oh, yeah.
One time I had a Macho Man outfit. It was not good. Listen, I watched him go over on Ric Flair to become the world champion at WrestleMania. And I remember Mr. Perfect and Ric Flair cheated so much. They cheated more than Liv Morgan in that match. He still went over and he won. And I mean, they drugged Miss Elizabeth through the mud. They had pictures of her. Remember Rick kept saying he was going to show the photo? And Mr. Perfect, show the photo, show the photo. I hated that. And then when the Macho Man won, that's easily one of my favorite WrestleMania moments. And you know what other one? I was in Santa Clara when Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank. And my son was a massive Roman Reigns fan. And I was cheering, and they clipped me off going crazy with my Seth Rollins shirt. My son, because I was celebrating, it's 44 miles from Santa Clara to Gilroy. For my child, who was about 5 at the time, he spoke no words to me. He hated me because Seth Rollins won and I cheered for him. But it was one of my best moments because you thought it was over. Roman was gonna pin Brock, or Brock was gonna pin Roman, keep the belt, it was done. Nope, here comes Seth Rollins, the architect of the greatest robbery in WrestleMania history. That was my favorite moment, man. That was
when he cashed in Money in the Bank.
cashed in the Money in the Bank.
I had terrible seats, and you were 2 rows behind me.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Bro,
they stuck us up. I got my tickets from Jack Swagger. I drove all the way out there figuring I'd be hooked up. He put me in the top row.
You know what the sad thing about that was? Those were the family tickets.
Yes.
They gave us the family tickets. We were up in the nosebleeds.
You know they stuck Dana White
I
in
got
those?
hit by a bird.
Swear to God.
I got hit by a
Oh,
bird,
come
man.
on.
The bird flew right past me, hit me. I was so
Come
high
on.
up. Was
Come
so
on.
high up. But not Saturday and not Sunday.
You got good tickets?
I'm in row 2, man.
No way.
Man, I'm in row 2, man. And I didn't even pay $7,000 for them. You paid $7,000.
That's beautiful.
It is amazing where we're.
Yes.
You know those credentials that we have.
I got
they
hit
get
by
us-
a bird. That's funny.
I got hit by a bird. But those credentials they give us, we can go anywhere. My kid got to eat lunch with the Usos in Los Angeles
Wow.
because you just got that credential.
What were they like? Are they cool?
They're the best. You just
Really?
walk around like you belong, man. If you start, hey, show no weakness, Chael. So when you're back there, you might run into like one of your idols. Like Axe and Smash might show up.
Sure.
Don't geek out, man. Don't embarrass me and like freak out, like acting like a child.
All right.
Act like you belong. And if you do, you can go eat wherever you want. You can walk wherever you want. Nobody will say nothing. But the moment you look like you're lost, you're screwed, bro.
Really?
They'll snatch your credential and they'll put you out of there.
They don't appreciate a mark? They will identify the mark.
Nobody
Really?
likes that, man. You gotta relax. You're
Wow.
Chael Sonnen, man.
No, I appreciate that tip.
All right, man, you gotta
I'll
please-
kick them right in the nuts if they get squirrely with me, but I'm just saying, but if
Yeah.
I saw Hulk Hogan, that would be a big deal.
No, really?
Yeah. I met
then-
him. I met him about 3 months ago. I
Hey,
cornered with him.
So
I
let me ask you a question.
cornered
Did you cheer
Kofi
or
Covington.
did you cheer or did you boo?
He provided, this is a true story if you guys are interested, but I had never met him, so he comes in the locker room, And when I was a little kid, I told you I dressed up as Demolition and whatnot, but I went early and bought my tickets, and I checked the schematic so that I could be where they were walking in. And I reached for him. He came walking right past me, and I reached for him, and I missed. So I didn't get so all these years later, to be in the locker room with him was a very cool thing. He comes in the locker room, and Colby tells him, and Colby's the main event, and Colby says, all right, when the camera, they're coming back from a commercial break, that's when the camera's in the tunnel. I want you out front. I'm walking out to your music, Real American. You go out front with the flag, I come behind you. And Hulk said, you've gone too far, kid. He said, I appreciate it, but this is your night. I back you up, you go out front, I go behind you. This was how they met each other, and I just observed it. And I always thought that was great leadership by Hogan.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
So, I've never met Hulk Hogan. He did not get cheered recently, so
I heard.
you might want to be, you got to kind of be careful.
Why though? Why did they boo him?
Well,
some people said it was racist.
You know how sometimes we get on the show,
yeah,
and we kind of like steer clear of conversations.
Yeah, this is a hot one.
This is one of those ones where, like, when I ask you about like being black and all those,
yes,
things, how you kind of go. I'm kind of like, I'm a politely back out of the Hulk Hogan conversation.
All right.
Like
no, I don't want to step in one, but he didn't get booed by me, man. I was a Hulkamaniac.
You're not getting me in this Hulkamaniac. Chael. So listen, a couple weeks ago, we're getting ready for UFC 3. What are we at now? 12, 13?
No one knows.
We're
That's
at 14.
The thing.
Yeah, Chael goes, nobody knows because we do so many. Anyhow,
there's no way to know.
We're at UFC 314. I'm with Julius Creed. We do this thing where, dude, I slammed Dan Hellie through a table. You know what Dan Hellie told me?
Tell me.
I understand that you weren't supposed to hurt me, but I still felt the next day like you slammed me through a table. So I'm speaking to these guys last night about some of the bumps that they take and how painful they could be. In the responsibility that you have, you and I could never do this job, is what I'm telling you. From some of the inside conversations I've had, you and I could never do this job. We would hurt somebody. You remember when they power drive Steve Austin and his neck went back?
Of course. Owen. I think Owen did that.
Can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
This is crazy. I'm growing up in Lafayette, Louisiana. I leave second grade. I'm such a wrestling guy that I knew this guy named Randy. We're walking home from second grade and we're on the track. I get this great idea that I want to power drive this kid. I kick Randy in the stomach, shove his head between my legs, and I power drive Randy.
Now, is he working? Or these are...
Randy is not in on the he's not working.
All right.
He thinks we're fighting.
Okay, these are potatoes.
So as I'm power driving Randy, he's punching and kicking. He's trying to bite me, Chael. I get it off on him. I power drive him.
Oh my gosh.
I turn over and try to pin him, man. His friends start kicking me.
They should have.
They started beating me.
That's a dick move to go kick Randy.
I kicked him, shoved his head down. I go to get the 1, 2, 3. His friends start beating on me.
Yes.
How in the world can you not know? It was like my coach. I beat Stipe Miocic. I call out Brock Lesnar. He runs into the ring and pushes me. My coach is not in on the deal.
Yep.
Pushes and attacks Brock Lesnar.
I remember.
It's the craziest thing. You gotta let dudes know, man.
You gotta let them go. Hey, by the way, there was a time when the pile driver universally was the finishing technique. Even if that wasn't your finishing move, if you hit a pile driver in any organization, it was a curtain call.
It was a curtain call. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Certain guys have certain things. I met this dude. I'm telling you, my first Olympic team, I got introduced at a wrestling company called TNA.
Sure.
There was a very young guy, and everybody spoke about how talented he was. And I was like, I watched him, and I was like, yo, he is. And then when he got to the WWE, you knew immediately you were watching one of the best wrestlers in the world. He was one of the best wrestlers then. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world today. This weekend, he is tasked with putting Logan Paul in his place finally.
Sure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the great AJ Styles.
Southern boys with the Rhyme of strength.
Daniel, you were telling the story about when this guy comes over and you saw him, and the first time you go, this is one of the best wrestlers ever. My experience, he was 35 years old, just got done with a tour in Japan. The audience, thanks to social media, largely are the ones that got him a contract. And the first time I saw AJ Styles, I remember where I was and going, oh my goodness, I did not know a white guy could wrestle like that.
Wow, I appreciate that. What a compliment, man. Here I thought you guys didn't have any time to watch or do anything because you're training all the time.
No, we don't. Well, we're both old and retired now. Like, I can't train myself across this stage without getting hurt. I go to bed at night and I'm hurt.
You got to change. Hey, that was last night for me. Why's my back hurt? I went to bed. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I remember meeting you, and you won't remember this. 2004 on a soundstage in Orlando, Florida, at TNA, they were telling me you were gonna be just the best wrestler of all time. Turns out they were right, man. You've been tremendous over the course of this career. When you look back to those days, how far have you come and how much have you been able to look back and appreciate the journey?
Well, you know, man, I had the opportunity, like you guys, to wrestle or fight some legends. And so you're going to get better when you're in the ring with guys like that. I had the opportunity to be in the ring with Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, and all those guys in TNA. And it just kind of bled over into being the wrestler that I am today because I learned a lot from those guys. I learned a lot from guys who sucked, you know? I mean, but it's just like anything else. It's a lot like life. It's all about experience, and I got a lot of experience.
When people talk about how great the match between, and I'm going to go back, but Macho Man versus Rick Steamboat, is that match revered by guys of your level? Is that truly one of the great matches of all time?
It is, but here's what because I am a man that never stops learning, so I've been watching a lot of old WWF, and Mr. Perfect is probably one of the greatest performers I've ever seen in my life. If you go back and watch it, the things that he does, you're like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
And I know it sounds crazy because he's not really known for that, but when you'll just go back and watch it, you'll see how great he really was.
Yeah, he was amazing, man. Everything looked clean. Everything was how it was supposed to be done. When he had an intention on something, he made it look like you expected that to be what it was going to be. But when we watch you, right, the phenomenal form, and all those great finishing moves that you've had, all the great moments that you've had since getting to the WWE, how excited are you to be again at WrestleMania, but this time not with one of those great legends of the past? Now you're fighting a guy that's a tad bit new, bit of a newbie, social media superstar, a guy that does carry a lot of cachet, but he doesn't have those accolades like you. What's the difference between a match with a guy like that, Kurt Angle, and a guy like Logan Paul?
Logan Paul's unpredictable. Like, I don't know what he's going to do next because he hasn't done a lot.
Yeah.
So how do you prepare for someone like that? And here's the thing, as far as if we're going to talk about accolades, social media-wise, Logan Paul blows me out of the water.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. And despite the fact that a lot of people don't like this guy, I don't hate Logan Paul. In fact, I'm quite impressed with what he's been able to build. You know, this guy's got, his hands are in everything, you know, but the fact that he thinks that he can come in here to WWE, talk to you fans, talk to guys who've been doing this for a long time and guys who've busted their tail to get to the WWE, that's insulting. So I'm going to do what I can to keep his mouth shut when I'm beating the tar out of him in the middle of the ring.
You guys seem to enjoy beating on Logan.
I mean, if you guys were in the ring with Logan Paul, I mean, right? Like, I feel like you'd do the same.
Hey, if we were just to reminisce over the good old day, if I was to tell you the greatest heel of all time is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, do you argue with me?
I can't really argue with you because he did a lot of great things, and he didn't take a lot of bumps, falls. Like, he didn't take, so to say that he was a great manager heel at the time. I don't know that he's Bobby the Brain Heenan, mind you.
No.
But he is up there for sure.
Is Ravishing Rick Rude up there? Is he one of the greats?
What? Because he came up with the painting the tights and everything to really piss everybody off.
Yeah.
I loved it, dude. It was out of the norm. It's not, and shake the hips, and he was ripped to shreds, which pissed a lot of people off.
Hey, when the kid was dribbling the basketball and the little black boy was dribbling the basketball, and the $1 Million Man kicked He let him get to 99.
Yeah.
That was heel work at his best. Like when Chael was in Brazil and spoke about how much it stunk in Brazil.
Yeah.
That's great heel work, right? Did you guys notice, like a guy like Chael Sonnen when he was rocking and rolling?
Do you know what I said to him when we walked up?
No, I didn't hear
I
it.
said the best promo in the business. This guy got better promos than most of us wrestlers. This guy sold fights with his mouth, and everybody knows it. And then he came and delivered during the fight, so that was a plus. But this guy, he should have been a pro wrestler, to be honest with you.
That's a nice compliment. I appreciate that. Thank you, AJ.
You like that, huh?
I do. Hey, well, I was just going back and forth on heels, and I was just wondering, like a guy, you know, on that side of the apron, what they think. I'll tell you another great heel, though, was Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, man, you could hate that guy. He came out and did this walk and talked about he had money. Like, that is just going to annoy people.
Yeah.
Right, that's the key, right? We are trying to sell matches. You are trying to sell fights. That's what we do. And the great thing about it is, if we can just tell you guys a story that you can understand, when we get in the ring, all we got to do is pay it off. And that's the why we do what we do. That's, you know, that's what's fun. It's like seeing how pissed off Logan Paul can get you guys is icing on the cake. I mean, and listen, he's a guy that everybody loves to hate, including me at the moment. So.
Yeah, AJ, when you get here, when you get to the WWE, and you receive the type of love that you receive from these fans, every time the music hits the speakers, people go crazy. What does that mean to a guy like you that has spent this amount of time in the business and has all that equity, right, with the fans and all the time spent trying to get to this point that you are in your career today?
You know, there's not a lot of times I've been right in my life, but when my girlfriend and I were dating back in the 90s, getting close to getting married, I told her, and I drug her to independent matches with me. It was a terrible thing. It was not good. But one day I said, listen, it's gonna pay off. I then married that girl, and listen, like I said, I'm not right a lot, especially with her. One time I've been right when I said this is gonna pay off, when I finally, you know, made a name for myself in TNA and traveled the world, went to Japan, and now here I am in WWE. That's the one thing I can throw up in her face, like, see, I told you so. So thank you guys for that.
That's the ultimate bragging right.
Right. I don't get a lot of those.
She could never win anything. You gave her the life.
That's right. Now, I don't say that because
don't
that's
say
just
it.
going to get me in more trouble.
Don't say it.
You
Don't say
said
it.
it, actually. I didn't say it.
And sometimes you want credit for that. I understand. I brought my wife out here. I wanted a little credit. We checked into the hotel. It's a beautiful place. We got tickets to Mania. I wanted a little pat on the back.
You don't get the credit. You just make the money.
AJ, I got to ask you a question. All right, everybody, people, Daniel and I included, we're looking forward to your match with Logan. But I know that you're a fan yourself. You get done. You go in the back. Main event time. Does John Cena beat Rhodes?
That's a good question. Was it all for nothing that John Cena said this was his last year? This is it. And in his last year, he finally becomes the John Cena that most wanted to see, and then loses to Cody Rhodes? Would it be all for nothing?
Yeah.
Does he get beat at WrestleMania after being bad John Cena or whatever? I can't see that happening.
I got to be honest with you. We're sitting out here in front of these fans, and our time's getting short. So at this point, they can cheer, they can boo. I really don't care. But they forced John Cena to be this. They treated John Cena that way. That's why John Cena is how he is. John Cena is justified in feeling betrayed. AJ, you've been on that side before. They want to boo me, and all I've been is good to these people. They booed me and cheered John Jones. They booed me and cheered John Jones. So that's what I'm saying. They made John Cena this, AJ.
Well, let me just say this. I did not boo you when you wrestled John Jones.
See what I'm saying? That's my boy.
And I may be related to John Jones. I'm just throwing that out there. It's a possibility.
You're related to John Jones?
I didn't say I was. I said
there
there's
is
a possibility.
very clear reason why you guys aren't related.
Yeah.
I would just point out the obvious. Chael, you say it then. I know you don't love getting into race conversations, but there's a reason why him and John Jones aren't.
I thought he was white. I admit I thought
I'm
right
a little
here.
offended
Yes.
that
I
you would
thought
think
he
that
was
based on my skin color.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, that hurts a little bit.
You're a very tan white guy, but I don't think that makes you black like me.
Well, you don't know my bloodline, bro.
But I see your athleticism.
Hey,
I know you got that. You got some brother in
yeah,
you.
hey, this guy's getting off the subject, right?
Yeah, come
Because
back.
he
was
talked
saying-
about how you guys turned John. Here's the problem with that. By the time John was coming out, especially in 2025, you guys loved him being there because you don't get to see him as much. He's involved in his acting and doing really well, and you guys cheered him, and I saw it for myself. And then he turns into Evil John for what? Because they were cheering him? That doesn't make much sense to me.
No. They only cheered him because he was just coming back. He said it's over. So now that because it's over, you want to cheer me? What about when I was here? They took him for granted, man.
Are we living in the past or are we living in the present?
They took him for granted, AJ, and you know it.
Maybe they did, but at the time, I was okay with it because at one point in time, I did want to beat up John Cena.
Yeah, you did. Everybody kind of wanted to beat up John Cena at one point.
Yeah, I even wanted a shirt made, but Vince said no. I mean, I don't know who would have bought it.
AJ, this weekend you go into WrestleMania. You've done multiple WrestleManias now. Is everyone still as special as the first one?
I don't know that it will be as special as the first one because that was my first WrestleMania. One I never thought I'd be at. I never thought I'd have the opportunity to be at WrestleMania. By the time I got to WWE, I think I was 36 years old. So I just assumed that I wouldn't have a WrestleMania moment. So nothing will be like the first, but it is WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And we are in a stadium full of people that are going to want to see me beat up Logan Paul. And man, I am going to give you just that. I'm going to beat up Logan Paul.
Man, that's exactly what I want to see too. Guys, give it up for the phenomenal one, the great AJ Styles.
Thank you, AJ. Daniel, can we talk technique real fast?
Real fast.
Just X's and O's. All right. At some point, AJ's going to be in this position. He might be on the table. He might be in the ring, and Logan's going to frog splash him.
He gonna jump him.
At the last minute, Daniel, he got to pull his knees up.
That's how you get out of that?
That's all you got to do. You
Come
can stand
on,
your back.
chill.
You're tired. You're hurt. You're tired. You pull your knees up like this. He crushes his abdomens right here. You come out on top and you go for the cover.
That's it.
You got to pull
That's
the
how you
knees
see the
up.
match
though.
ending.
You got to pull the knees up. Somebody's got to tell you because he could be coming off the rope. He could be coming to the table. You're not set. You're looking this way. KSI interferes. You got to pull those knees up, but you got to do it at the right second.
There's gonna be a lot of things that happen on Saturday and Sunday. One of those great moments may be Logan Paul and AJ Styles, but chill. In Miami, when Alexander Volkanovski and them fought, we talked about what would be our Monday headline. We said Paddy Pimblett. By the time we got back to our show, Paddy Pimblett was the headline, and it's all we talked about. So I'm asking you now, as we go into WrestleMania and we wrap, what are we going to be talking about on Monday when it comes to our headline? Is it going to be that John Cena beat Cody Rhodes? Is it going to be that Roman Reigns wins again? Or is it going to be Seth Rollins, CM Punk? What are we going to be talking about on our Monday headline?
Do you want the real answer? You want me to ruin WrestleMania?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a code, and you're going to have to figure this out. But on Monday, you are going to smell what The Rock is cooking.
You think he's going?
That's all I can say.
You think The Rock's going to be there? I tell you what our headline's going to be. Our headline's going to be that we will get an end to the whole Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns issue. Seth Rollins and CM Punk are going to beat the crap out of each other on Saturday night. And we will know who is going to challenge John Cena at the next premium live event. Because John Cena's going over on Sunday. He's beating Cody Rhodes.
Really?
John
You really
Cena's-
think so?
John Cena's going over on Sunday. On Monday, we will know who he will be wrestling because that person is going to come out of that triple threat match on Saturday night. Did you know that this is Roman Reigns' 10th main event?
I did not know that.
That's an unbelievable
I want to
fact.
stand Cena real fast because Cena does deserve to go over. I mean, he tried to retire. They're going to keep him around to put him under. I don't know about that. At the same time, it's a WrestleMania experience, and he's a company guy. But the other side is, and nobody wants to talk about this, whether they're working or they're shooting, Dustin got to this spot by double-crossing the entire company. He's the whole reason AEW is even up and running. So he pulls a giant double cross, they re-sign him and then give him a push. John Cena should beat him, and he should beat him clean. That's the way the story should go.
You know what's crazy? CM Punk and Seth Rollins hate each other, and it's real. Like, CM Punk went to the UFC and he fought. And honestly, I give him credit for even stepping into that world. It's a hard world to step into. It's hard to step out of your comfort zone. Those guys cannot stand each other. And I interviewed them both. It's bad. Those guys do not like each other.
It's a shoot.
It really is bad.
I like that. I like that when that happens.
I like it with a little bit on it.
Yeah.
You know? I like it with a little bit on it.
Yeah, if you're trying to take a guy's dream and he's trying to do the same to you, and you do that and you try to get over by going up to him and acting nice and then go, well, he was so nice to me that I'm sure he'll say something to the writers. It's like, no, man, this guy's trying to take what you got. Go out and fight for it or don't.
Yeah.
Don't waste all of our time if you're not willing to fight for it. If you're not willing to cheat, double cross, and go into business for yourself, you don't belong at WrestleMania.
Who's going? You guys all going to Mania this weekend? It is going to be a show for the ages, and Chael and I cannot wait. Hey, we appreciate each and every one of you for coming and watching us do Good Guy, Bad Guy live. We love you guys. We could not do this without you. We will see you on Monday for a brand new episode, and we will have some answers as to what happened at the Granddaddy, the greatest show of all time, WrestleMania 41. For Chael Sonnen, I'm Daniel Cormier. Thank you, guys.